What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. We're in game 4 now of our tournament this past Saturday. And we're up against a Kinemon player here. We're both undefeated at the moment, and so this should be a pretty good match. But Kinemon is definitely a harder matchup for Smoker, especially when we roll a 6 against his 9 and he chooses to go second. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough bullet to bite, but you know what? You got to sometimes. But we'll take a look at our hand, and it looks as though we got 3 TCGs. Looks like I got 3 TCGs and like a Garp or something, so we'll go ahead and mulligan, see if we can find something different. And I just wanted to take a little bit of time before we hop into this match to say something really fast, guys. The local card shop that I'm playing this tournament at in the video has been super kind enough to present a creator code to me for the community and myself to use for 10% off at their shop for singles and booster boxes and all kinds of stuff. So if you like Digimon, One Piece, Magic the Gathering, Flesh and Blood, any of that good stuff, you can use TheLuffyTV for 10% off at shop.theboosterbox.gg. Really big thank you to them for that. Super cool. And it looks as though we're starting off this game a little rough. We've got Okiku coming down for the opponent on turn 1, and I'm just going to go ahead and put all 3 Dawn and swing 8. We'll just pass it over, and he gets another Okiku down for 2 Dawn, and he will swing 5 at life. I'm hoping and praying for Impact Wave, and we get Suru. Quite literally the opposite of what we needed, but we use it as a counter. And then he slaps down Momo and Toki. So I'll go up to 5 Dawn here, but the position does not feel great. It does not feel great at all. And yeah, I really want to try and get rid of one of these Okikus, but at the same time, I kind of want to put down a Kuzan or a Borsalino or something of the sort. And I know that whatever I put down is just going to get rested. But I will use leader ability here on either Toki or Momo, and I'll go for 7 at Okiku, and he's thinking about it, and I think he decides to counter out of this one. Yeah, so he will go ahead and counter out with 2 cards, save the Okiku. You know, if I had a Kobe, that would be pretty great, but alas, we do not. And I'm just trying to think about whether I want to put down the Borsalino or Kuzan. And it looks as though we just choose to go with the Borsalino here. But I'll just pass turn, and he will go ahead and Momo search that Odin. And it's so unfortunate. I'm looking at my hand, and I'm like, okay, I have the Kuzan to deal with Odin, but he has 2 Okikus. I have to deal with the Okikus before I can even do that. And he just swings for 6 at life. I go ahead and take. I'm just trying to get any sort of cards that will be useful for me, and I'm looking at the Borsalino. He swings for 8, excuse me. I'll go ahead and counter out, bringing Borsalino up to 9. So I'm not really in need of some of those cards, but he chooses to go 5 here at life again, and I can easily counter out of this. But I mean, at the moment, I'm kind of in a, you know, hard spot here, trying to have anything that can deal with some of these cards he's putting down. And I do finally pick up a Kobe, at least. That is somewhat of a relief. And yeah, I think we're gonna go up to 7 Dawn now. And yeah, he was just asking about some of the Dawn cards. They're really neat, honestly. They're a lot of fun. And I know a lot of people have been asking in the comments, can you use these at locals matches? Or at tournaments in general. You cannot use these Dawn cards at Bandai official tournaments, but you can use them, you know, just at your local matches, unless they're really, really stingy at your local shop, and they're like, no way, we don't want that to happen. But he's got quite the board here, and I'm honestly pretty terrified. I choose to go for 5 at Momo. Kind of interesting. I'm not sure if I was really trying to do that, or I see. So we're gonna play Kuzan, I'm assuming here. Yep, I'm gonna play Kuzan, draw a card. Looks like we pick up Impact Wave, which is nice, but kind of a little too late. Would have been great to deal with one of those Okikus earlier on, as well as that Kobe. But yeah, I'm trying to set the board up for him putting down 8-drop Odin here. And that's what I was thinking would happen, is he would use 8-drop Odin this turn, and maybe like 1 Dawn on Okiku or something like that. But he does use Paradise Tatsuka and rests my Borsalino. And then he's going to slap 3 under Okiku and go for 8 at Borsalino. Or no, he decides to go for 6. Yeah, resting the Kuzan. So, yeah, he's going to go for 6 at Borsalino and then rest the Kuzan. I will just let it go, which is, I don't know, kind of surprising. I'm not sure why I didn't just at least counter out of that one so that he didn't have so many options. And then he just plays X-Drake. So kind of a big blunder on my part. Like, I would have lost the Kuzan no matter what because of the X-Drake, but I wouldn't have lost the Borsalino. And that would have gave me like something at least to deal with the board. So my thought process would have been, if I had kept the Borsalino, I could have taken care of Okiku and the X-Drake. Because with this turn, you know, we did pick up Sakazuki. And with Sakazuki in hand, I think I'm what, at 9 Dawn, I believe. I decide to go 5 here at Okiku, and I know he doesn't have a lot of cards in hand, so I'm just kind of hoping that that swings through. I know that just one of them is Odin, and he does let it go, so that made me like kind of breathe a little bit, you know, a little fresh air, if you will. I choose to go 5 at life, and he does take that. I'll play Sakazuki, KO the X-Drake. And I don't like this play. I think this was a bad decision on my part. I had, if I'm not mistaken, a Suru in hand. And the Suru plus my leader ability plus Sakazuki could have taken care of Odin. But I didn't draw into any cards to be able to handle the Odin afterwards. And I guess at the moment that was what I was trying to bank on. And it was just kind of a, I don't know, poor decision on my part, because at the end of the day, as, you know, much of a 6k swing, you know, threat the X-Drake is, with me only being at 2 life and very little cards in hand, the Odin is infinitely more troublesome and a lot scarier to deal with. So I am going to choose to go for 9 Dawn here, or 9k on the leader. And I'm going to swing at the, oh, it looks like I bring one back. Yeah. So we choose to go 8k. We choose to go 8k at life here. And I think I was just saving some Dawn, you know, for a bit of, you know, moments like this. But I go for 8k at life again with Sakazuki. And he does have 2 blockers, but he will take the life here. And I'll choose to rest 3 and play Tashigi. The idea behind Tashigi here is, I hate to play her, but I kind of need her in order to lower Odin enough that I can get him within like KO range. And yeah, I know that I have Sakazuki, but I do have 2 impact waves in hand, and he's going to have to, you know, play around that with my 4 active Dawn here. But I choose to take the life on the first 9k swing. And he's going to go 9k again. And I am going to have to impact wave here. I'll just get rid of the Beji blocker. And I know that he's still got leader with 5 Dawn active. It looks like he's probably just going to save 2. Yeah, he's just going to go for another 9k. I think this one's at Sakazuki, but I'll just rest impact wave again and take out the Toki. And I know he just passes here. The tough decision is, how do I get rid of Odin while also surviving the following turn? And I know that in my hand I don't have much. I think that I finally got like 10 drop, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like I finally got 10 drop Kuzan, but I have like a 2k counter, and that's about it. So I'm thinking of my options, and my options realistically are just hope that I can get the life. So I go for 7 at life here, and he's smart. He does take, saving the impact wave, or not impact wave, excuse me, Punk Gibson for the future. And I'm going to go 9, and that's when he basically crushes my hopes and dreams. He uses impact wave, or wow, I keep saying that. Punk Gibson with the Bonnie right there. And I swing for Odin, and he does counter out. And I told him, I was like, yeah, that's about it. Good game. You know, there wasn't really much I could do. I felt as though I didn't draw terribly, but I didn't draw well enough to be able to deal with the Odin after I kind of misplayed and played the Sakazuki too early. But yeah, it looks like we finish up with a 10 drop. Oh, in the last life, the 10 drop was actually my last life. And I had, yeah, just one 2K counter in hand. But, you know, it was a good match. So we didn't go undefeated on this run, and we went 3-1. But we made it to top cut, and the next video will be the top cut match up against Zoro. And it's a bit of an interesting match. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and you know, shout out again to the booster box for the you know, for the code and sponsoring some of the endeavors that myself and some of the guys from the locals matches are, you know, doing ourselves. So I'll see y'all in the next one. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and until then, peace.